Hi boys and girls, so today you're going to do part 2 of your tree craft. Now I don't have my tree all fuzzy and beautiful like yours should be, but we'll just pretend that it has all the wonderful tissue paper that you have and you've left it dry overnight so it shouldn't pop off, which is really important. Okay, now remember that little triangle that you left open from when you were putting your tissue paper on. That's the part that's going to be really important when we try to fold it into a cone. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. You're going to take the part that doesn't have any tissue paper on it. Remember, the rest of this does. And you're just going to kind of bend it and curve it as you bend it. And then cover over top of your triangle with the part that does have tissue paper on it, and the empty part is underneath. Okay, if you didn't leave enough space, you might have to pick off some tissue paper so that it will cover and close. Now, if you have a stapler at your house, this will be really helpful because it'll stick it really hard. If you don't have a stapler at your house, what you're going to want to do is put as much glue on here as you can, white glue or glue stick, and then roll it over. And you're going to want to take a paper clip. Now, remember in your baggie of stuff, I had given you some of those brass fastener things that we used for our Senses wheel. I had also given you some paper clips. Now, they looked similar. Let me grab some here. They looked similar to these little guys. So once you've glued it, it's probably a really good idea to secure it with a paper clip. Now you might need to get mom or dad's help with this if you're having troubles, but where it's overlapping, where the two pages are on top of each other, you're gonna slide a paper clip up like that. So see, I don't even have any glue on here, and the paper clip is doing a good job holding it together. If you have a stapler, you wanna go in and staple on those parts too. If you don't have that, you can glue, you can use tape. You won't be able to tape on the outside. You'll have to stick your hand inside and tape where the paper is overlapping on the inside. But a paper clip will work to hold it together too, with some glue or some tape or some staples. Okay, so once you've got your cone part of your tree, the next thing you're going to want to do is build the stem of the tree or the trunk of the tree. And again, you can do this in a couple of different ways. If you have a toilet paper roll, this would work really, really well because it's nice and firm cardboard. If you don't have a toilet paper roll, you can just take some construction paper, like maybe your leftover green construction paper, and fold it into a tube. Either way would work. If you have, I'll show you how to do it with the toilet paper roll first. With the toilet paper roll, you're going to want to cut it in half. Otherwise, your tree just looks like a hat. So you probably don't want a hat tree. So cutting a toilet paper roll in half is a bit tricky, but you kind of smoosh it like that. Smoosh it and cut it. And you have two. And so if you've made two, you can have two. Now, in order to make this stick up underneath your tree, oh, and see, I cut mine a little bit too short. Let me show you. You can't really see it. So you probably don't want to cut it quite in half. Maybe you just cut a little bit off of it, okay? So we'll pretend that I didn't cut it all the way in half. We just cut a little bit off of it. And then you're gonna wanna cut some slits going down to make some foldy parts. So if we just cut about the width of your finger going down and around, and then make some foldy parts like that. See how it kind of folds over? That's the part that you're gonna put some glue on these foldy parts. Then when you stick your tree over top, it'll have something to stick to, okay? If you don't have a toilet paper roll, what you're gonna wanna do is take some cardboard or some construction paper, and you're gonna wanna kind of double it up. So I would probably use both of these side straps that I still have left, and I'm gonna glue them together, cut them into a rectangle, and I could probably actually get away with folding it over again. And then you just make a little cone out of it like this. See that? You can use another paper clip to hold it so it holds tight. Or if you have scissors, or if you have glue, you can glue it together. But there you go. That works well too. And then you can put your tree to have the stem over top and pop them in there. You might have to change how tall it is to make sure that it sticks out a little bit. If the stem part is causing you lots of trouble, it's not sticking in very well, guess what? You don't need it. Your tree looks beautiful just this way too, okay? So you can try and make a stem out of a toilet paper roll. You can color it whatever color you want so it sticks out at the bottom. You can try cutting some construction paper or some cardboard, folding it into a cone to make a stem, or just have your tree stand like that. That's okay too. The last step that you want to do is decorate your tree. So in your craft bag, you have some pom-poms, you have some pipe cleaners, maybe you have some sparkles at your house or some beads or something else that you could decorate it with, and you can put some little bits all over your tree. You could put a star at the top if you want to. You decide how you want to decorate your tree. Let me show you some examples of what it could look like. Okay, let me share my screen here and I'll show you what it could look like if you decorate it. So if you see here, they've colored the toilet paper roll red at the bottom, and that's what's sticking out as the trunk of the tree. And then they've put some pom-poms all over the tree. You could do that if you wanted to. If we take a look at some of these trees, they're not tissue paper trees, but you kind of get the idea. This one down here, they used some sparkle glue and they put some sparkle glue like garland on the tree. This one over here used some stickers and they stuck stickers on. You could do that as well. Down here, they used some sparkle stickers. This one looks kind of similar to the one that we used, a little bit different. They've got a cork on the bottom, but there's a paper star at the top. You could cut out a star for the top. This one actually used some buttons on there to make some decorations, which is pretty fun. You could bend a pipe cleaner around it to make kind of garland looking stuff around the tree. Here's some more stickers, pom-poms we talked about. That's an easy one because we have some pom-poms in there. This one has some super cool little lights. If you had a little baby string of lights, you could put it around your tree. You can really use your imagination however you'd like to decorate your tree with whatever you have in your craft baggie or whatever you have at home. Lots of stickers. If people have stickers, that sounds like a great idea to decorate, or buttons, even little drops of paint if you have paint. Here's where they've used pipe cleaners going around the outside of the tree. So if you had a pipe cleaner, you could do that. So there's tons of different ways. Even just using paper, you could use little bits of paper and cut out little ornaments or decorations or however you want your tree to look. Okay, so I look forward to seeing what your trees look like. Please share a picture of your tree with me so I know what it looks like. Happy decorating.